So let me ask the people something. I don't know who may be tuning in that's listening from America or if you're international, but you know what? I'm just gonna get in. I'm just gonna get right into it. Basically, Jinx. Thank you for stopping through. By the way, I appreciate you forever and always. I've been paying attention to this vape news. Like, don't never mind the orangutan in the Oval Office. I'm talking more about like I've been paying attention to people post these articles regarding the whole how three people have died from vaping, and I don't know if anybody's reading the articles. Like it's actually getting to me because like people are like, I told you vaping leads to killing or to you be dead, and it's all the times that now mind you, I'm not trying to be, you know, I'm not trying to be just like the naysayer, the dude that's shooting Paul Revere off the horse. I'm just saying, like, every article I've looked at regarding this vaping killing people thing, in the article, it doesn't say stop vaping. And not only that, but it doesn't say that, like, because you look at the articles, they're like, CDC says stop vaping. And and then it's like CDC looking to ban e-cigs, and now you have the orangutan. He's like, I'm gonna do an order to make sure nobody vapes. And if you read any of the articles, now I've seen about 15, mind you, I haven't seen all of them, but the actual quote from the CDC. Now I should have pulled it up before I got on, but your boy been busy this morning, so I can't say it verbatim. But what the CDC is actually saying is don't buy vape juice or THC vape products from back alley dealer Joe. That's it. It's not that you should stop. It's not that you should be afraid. It's literally don't buy unofficial things from unofficial people. And somehow this news head, somehow the headline is vaping kills 3 people. CDC looking to ban vaping. Like, that's not what they're saying. Now, mind you, they might be getting that headline from actually someone on CDC, but they didn't go on record, so they can't put quotes around it. And I could be completely wrong. But as a person who tries not to go off of the headlines, because we all know the headlines just want us to click. I mean, that's basically it. Like, Jinx himself will tell you. It's No, see, the thing is it's not necessarily the flavoring. It's the fact that people are getting like people are buying back alley things, and when you're buying basically the meth lab of e-juice, you have no clue what the hell somebody's putting there. But for an e-juice to be regulated and sold, like most people don't know this. Now I've been a vape god for quite some time now. But most people don't know that around the time that Big Tobacco found out that they weren't going to win against e-juice, their first tactic that they used was, okay, well then we're going to get our friends in the upper echelon to basically regulate it out of existence. And Big Tobacco actually couldn't regulate it out of business because basically it's too strong. Like the industry for it and the wealth to be made from it is too strong. So they couldn't stop it that way. So all of Big Tobacco started buying up all of the biggest vaping companies, like all the biggest vaping companies and e-juice developers, distributors, creators, whatever you want to talk about it. And when that happened, because they created the regulations, a lot of places pretty much had to fold and sell to them. Because do you want to take a guess at how much it costs for a vape company to basically put out a flavor? Just throw me a guess. Anybody. I don't care who. Just guess how much it takes for them to be authorized to sell a specific flavor of juice. Just take a guess. Would you say, a solid 2,000? Would they say, well, Jinx, goddamn. It's not what. Well, let me see here. Phantom. I hope I'm not destroying your name, but thank you for joining. So it's not $1 billion, Jinx. It's actually $1 million per flavor. And not only do they have to do $1 million per flavor, which put a lot of people who were making e-juice out of business. Mind you, that's a good and bad situation. We're talking about how all these articles keep saying, like, CDC says ban e-cigs. CDC says they're trying to ban vaping and it's killed 3 people. But every article that I see, if you read the article, the actual quote from the CDC is, don't buy unofficial flavors from unofficial vendors. Now, as I was saying, they might have taken the headline from something that was said off the record, but that's not what they're actually, like, that's the headline is completely not what the CDC is saying. So it's creating this outrage against vaping when at the end of the day, what's really coming down to it is that it's completely, at least from the information being provided, as far as the quotations from the CDC and all that shit, it's not that serious. Basically, you got a bunch of people who are, Albert Einsteins in the back meth lab creating stuff, selling it to their friends or whatever. And when it comes down to it, they're using shit they shouldn't be used. The reason it cost, after the regulations from Big Tobacco came down, the reason it cost $1 million per flavor, wherever you get your vape juice from, it cost $1 million per flavor for them to actually be able to sell it because of the regulations, which were, in fact, verified by the CDC. That move of having to verify your e-juice $1 million per flavor put a lot of people out of business. So I just find it interesting, personally. I just find it interesting that there's kind of like this, this whole thing. And Nerd View, I am going to get to your statement. I do see it. I'm getting there. I just find it interesting that there's this like thing that it's like everyone's putting out these headlines for the clicks, but the CDC doesn't actually, at least what's been quoted in the 15 articles that I read, nowhere is it quoted that, like, basically that vaping kills. It's saying don't get your shit from fucking Vape Man Joe behind the alley on 32nd and 12. That's all I'm like, or 32nd and Madison. All I'm saying is, like, don't go to the back alley for your shit. And okay, let me go back here. Let me get this Nerd View.